ABC 15 Breaking News.
If you were just joining us, we're following breaking news right now out of Phoenix. An active shooter situation. This with 4 people shot. It doesn't stop there.
No, SWAT teams and more than 100 firefighters surrounding a home near 47th Avenue and Cactus. So we want to get right back to the ABC 15 live desk. Christopher Stein has been tracking all of the very latest developments all morning long. Chris, what do you know?
Let's show you exactly where this is unfolding, Dan and Danielle. It's going to be Northwest Phoenix. Here's 51st Avenue. Here's 43rd Avenue. This is Cactus. The location is going to be just off 47th Avenue. It's a cul-de-sac right in this very area, not far from the Arizona Canal. Clearly, you see here, it's a 2-story home involved in this one on the corner of this cul-de-sac. And I need to get right out to start our team coverage. We have you covered from every angle, including Air 15 in the air and several crews on the ground. I want to start with Nick Saletti. Nick, you got brand new information moments ago. This thing is not over.
Chris, it certainly isn't. Before we get to that, I want to let you know we actually just heard another round of gunshots. Literally just 10 seconds ago, we just heard a fresh round of shots. This thing is far from over, according to Phoenix police. As a matter of fact, an officer just came up to us about 2 minutes ago and said to us that the suspect was still alive on the inside of that house and actually was worried about how much exactly we were showing. So just to make sure everybody is staying safe, we're going to keep zoomed out. But you can actually still see some smoke coming from that house. That's because, as we mentioned earlier, it was on fire and it's still smoldering. But what I can confirm to you right now is that we know at least 2 people have been shot and were taken to the hospital in unknown condition. There could be 2 more people shot. Sergeant Crump from the Phoenix Police Department could not confirm exactly how many people were injured, but what we do know is that shooter is still alive on the inside, and Phoenix police were telling us earlier that he was shooting at them while that house was on fire from the 2nd floor. We spoke to Sergeant Crump just a short time ago. He spoke to us very candidly about what exactly was going on.
I heard things this morning that and saw things as I'm down here that I haven't seen in 30 years. I've seen an active shooter inside a home while the house is on fire, shooting at officers that are trying to help victims who are on the line with us.
And Chris, just to recap, I heard at least 3 gunshots go off about a minute ago. Of course, we'll keep you posted on what we see from this vantage point. Sergeant Crump's still here. We'll continue to ask him the questions that we need answers to and promise to give you an update.
All right, Nick, it sounds like my sources are telling me the suspect here may be down. So I'm going to give you a second, Nick, and you go ask Crump those questions. So let's try and confirm this and button this part of the story up. Meanwhile, let's continue our live team coverage with Katie Connor. Katie, you're at the staging area. This is a second alarm response here. For the viewers at home, that means that there's more than 40 fire rescue personnel on the scene.
Captain, she says there's between 80 and 100 firefighters alone responding to the scene. Chris, I want to get right in, though. If we can zoom in, you can kind of see where police officers are huddled together on the side. A couple minutes ago, when we heard Nick describe those gunshots, we saw those police officers run from the other side of the street to this corner area. Again, we were told by fire that this area was secure. However, as we just heard those gunshots go off, we can tell that this is still a very active situation. We're learning more information as it becomes available. It seems to change every couple minutes. I've talked with neighbors out here all morning long. They say they started to hear sirens around 5 a.m. They came outside, they woke up to this. All of these firefighters and police officers here on scene. Police officers actually went up to the home in SWAT gear because, as we heard, the shooter was actually shooting at officers as they were approaching the car from not just approaching the house, not just from the garage, but also from the 2nd story of that home. Take a listen to what a neighbor told me earlier this morning.
So they're kind of scary because they seem so calm over there, so I don't know.
Now, I want to kind of tell you a little bit about the victims. We know there's 4 people inside the home. I talked with a Phoenix fire captain. She tells me that one of the victims who was taken out was a 20-year-old female. She was transported to a nearby hospital with life-threatening injuries. I actually talked with an officer here on scene, Chris, and they said they actually had to break a window and help her get out of the window to safety. We know that another victim also taken from the home. We do not know the condition of that victim, but of course, as we've learned all morning long, this can change very very, very quickly. Chris.
All right, Katie Connor on that part of the story. Katie, also moments ago, those heroic officers were getting treated after going in on this fire there on the scene. Katie Connor, Nick Saletti, that's the team coverage happening right now with this breaking news situation. Dan and Danielle, boy, you got to think about the heroics involved with something like this. So these officers putting on masks, going into a fire to take down an active shooter.
The fact that Trent Crump there with Phoenix PD saying he'd never seen anything like this in 30 years.
Yeah.
I talked about Chris tweeting about it. Download our mobile app because at the top you've got all the latest video as well as breaking news out of the East Valley that we're going to get to. Again, kind of catch your breath, and here we go. Yeah.